Welcome, I'm Amanda Evans with episode 17 of HACCP Mentor Review. In this episode, we cover internal audits, HACCP records, keeping current with legislation, and staff wearing jewellery. Components of an internal audit program. The majority of certification standards require that you complete an internal audit on your business. A question that I was asked this week was what components should make up an internal audit program. Here are a few to make sure you have these covered. A schedule of when the internal audits will be completed, a clearly defined scope and audit criteria, so this is what the audit is going to cover, making sure that the person undertaking the audit or the internal audit is actually competent. Results of the internal audit process are communicated to those responsible for the area that was audited. This is so things can get fixed up or actioned. Records are available to support that the internal audit was completed and actioned. How to keep up to date with legislation changes. The easiest way that I keep up to date with food legislation changes is to subscribe to a RSS feed. Have a look at your country's food legislation authority and see if they have an RSS feed that you can get off their website. To find out how to set up one of these feeds so they come directly to your email inbox, check out my post on how to set up a food safety RSS feed. I'll put a link in the notes to this episode. This week, the SQF Institute released their guidance documents for Module 2 and Module 11 of the SQF Code Edition 7.1. These documents are a fantastic resource for both food manufacturers and auditors and help with the interpretation and expectation of Edition 7.1. You can download a free copy from the SQF website or just check the links in this episode. Controlling HACCP records. The best way to control food safety in HACCP records is to firstly have document control applied to the form that gets completed. Remember, a record really is just a form that is being filled out. You can then state in your document control procedure that the way that you are going to control records is by only using controlled forms, storing any of your records securely, retaining the record as per your record retention policy. Make sure the form is listed in your document index or your list of forms. You can also say that the date that the form was completed is used as a record control mechanism. Food poisoning outbreaks. This HACCP Mentor episode reviews a recent food poisoning outbreak from Las Vegas in the USA. The Southern Nevada Health District reported that as of May 5, 2013, at least 196 patrons and 4 employees who consumed food and drinks at Firefly Restaurant during April have been determined to be confirmed or probable cases of salmonella infection. No single menu item appeared to be the likely source of the outbreak. However, inspections carried out by the local authority found a number of issues. These issues included things like employees not washing their hands properly, employees using bare hands to dispense ready-to-eat foods, the improper cooling practices of potentially hazardous foods, temperature abuse of potentially hazardous foods, improper food storage that included raw animal products stored above ready-to-eat foods, and inadequate cleaning and sanitizing of preparation surfaces. This week's action item is to go and check that staff are not wearing jewellery. Jewellery can become a potential physical hazard if it ends up in your food product. The wearing of rings can also prevent adequate hand washing and be an occupational health and safety issue. Well, that wraps up another episode of HACCP Mentor Review. As always, I would love to hear back from you. Any feedback or comments that you have, please leave below this episode. Until next time, I'm Amanda Evans from HACCPMentor.com.